Shayna Melissa Stockman. Welcome to the Shayna Show. We have a very, very special guest today, all the way from South Africa. For those of you that don't know me, I am your host, Shayna Melissa. This is my 30th year as a registered nurse, over 30 years. I'm a nationally board certified nurse practitioner, a #1 international best-selling author, and the world wellness expert. Basically, I help people get better when the doctors often can't, and then the doctors become my clients. But that's enough about me. We have a very, very special guest here today, all the way from South Africa. Miss Dina Marai, I hope I do you justice. She is a fellow best-selling author multiple times, a fellow book publisher. She is also an amazing coach. Actually, she's a 3-time Amazon International best-selling author, a publisher of multiple books, including My Mess is My Message, and she's the creator of My Mess is My Message Summit. She's likes to work with very successful entrepreneurs to elevate their brand, visibility, income, and impact by becoming best-selling author. She publishes multi-author books, solo and collaborative books as well. Miss Dina Marai from South Africa. Let me finish. That's not enough about her. She is a certified quantum leap transformational coach. Well, you'll have to tell us more about that. Who specializes in soul alignment for your business success. She uses a combination of energetic alignment and strategy to support authors to make profits out of their books. And she's currently putting together 2 multi-author books. One is Success with Source, where you can learn from women who practice vibrational alignment in their business. And the other one is My Mess is My Message 2, which is inspirational stories of incredible women who found their purpose and prosperity through adversity. So we have a lot of parallels with us, between us. So I want to introduce you to Miss Dina Marai, all the way in South Africa. So glad you could join us today.
Oh, thank you, Shayna, and thank you for such a beautiful introduction. I am so happy to be here with you. Really awesome.
Could you tell us a little bit about how the book industry started for you and your message?
Well, actually, it's actually a lovely story. You know, a few years ago, many years ago, I read the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and it made such a difference, such an impact on me. And I thought to myself then, you know, I'm going to ask the universe, I would love to write stories like that. Of course, I never did, you know. And then in 2021, I received this amazing opportunity to start my own publishing company, something that I never ever thought about. And it was just like, I had a physical reaction in my body, Shayna. I just felt all my skills, in my previous life, I come from IT, all of those skills, the writing, the coaching, everything just coming together. And and then I jumped in, boots and all, and here I am.
That's beautiful. And what is your mission and purpose with your books?
In short, I love to inspire the people through the books, the writers, the readers, everyone involved, to own their greatness.
Ooh, own their greatness. That sounds so powerful. I find like we have so many parallels together, between writing books, publishing books, and just for me, I think it was more about, I just wanted to inspire and uplift and motivate. And I think books are a great way to get your uncensored message out to the world, right? I mean, if it was not for books, I would not be talking to South Africa right now, and you probably wouldn't be talking to America.
absolutely.
So, yes.
But more than that, Shayna, what's really wonderful is, especially, we are a bunch of independent publishers, and there are more of us coming. But like you say, it's to have your message out there. Before, it was very selective number of people who actually got published. And nowadays it's beautiful, especially with the multi-author books, because everyone can dip their toe, everyone can start out, even before they write the big book.
I think we might have some technical difficulties. I believe Dina Marai is frozen on my screen. I don't know if it's on the viewer screens as well.
My internet.
Oh, there you are. Look at that. You're back.
Was I gone?
So we were saying that books are a beautiful way to get your uncensored message out. And you were saying it's more than just that. We're back.
And then it isn't.
Yeah, I think it is a beautiful way. I know when, and it's important for the readers to know they don't have to be authors by trade. A lot of our authors in our books are real people with real stories and real struggles that want to get their uncensored message out, want to leave a legacy. And then we, as the book publishers, we do the magic, right? Where we edit it for grammar, spell check, punctuation to make it sound good, but we don't change their words. Like, I think it's important for them to know that their message comes across very clear. It's just beautified a little bit with appropriate punctuation and spelling.
Very little indeed. And I think that's what I do also for my authors is I read everyone's story.
Yes, me too.
Is it? Do you do
That's
that?
important.
I love doing that because I first give them first-hand feedback about their story. Especially I can spot where there are gaps in their story, because they write it now, and we have blind spots. So I point out where they have gaps. Listen, this doesn't tie up, something is missing here. Or even when their story don't move, I tell them your story doesn't move emotionally. So we've got to look at that, and by the time it goes to the editor, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. Sometimes I have a few rounds of that with some of my co-authors, and I really don't mind, because in the end, it's their message that we want to bring out.
Yes.
And also, we want to create a high quality book.
Yes, and I think that's what sets us apart from some of the other publishers. I don't just run it through an app for spelling like you. I read every single word myself personally, provide the feedback. I think that's important because there are publishers out there that might just run it through an app, or might have their VA in another country that does not speak English fluently, so they can't edit it appropriately. And I know personally with my first book, Overcoming Life Obstacles, I fired 4 or 5 publishers before I decided to self-publish, because I just wasn't happy with the quality. I wanted to bring it a huge quality. Like for you and I know we take pride in our work, and there's nothing going on with my name that's not a quality product. And I'm sure you feel the same way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And so for every other author, they put their name, they associate their name with this book.
Yes.
It must be enhancing their brand, what they stand for, who they are. I very strongly believe in that.
And I think it's a good point that we were bringing up, that a lot of the people that might be aspiring writers, they don't have to be authors by trade, because, we will help them with their, like, I know I have a writing workshop, and we help them with it, and then we beautify it even more. So it's important for you to know, if you have a message you want out to the world, please don't feel like you have to be an author by trade, because we were not authors when we started. I was not an author.
Jess, I also, again, with some of the lines, I also have a writing workshop. And I
Yes.
always say, just get it down.
Yes.
Don't worry about getting it right. We'll edit it later. Just first getting it down. Because if people start editing, then they start second guessing themselves about what they're writing and how they're writing.
But I think it also brings, it can help elevate somebody that's not a published author already, because in our books, we mix them in with people that are already best-selling published authors. So it kind of elevates them. I think books is a great way, not only to get your message out your way, but also to leave that legacy forever. Once that's in print, that is out there. I mean,
ever.
Yes, yes.
I always say that, yes, we can write digitally. We can write the most beautiful blogs and articles and posts and everything, but it's fleeting. It's here one moment, the next moment, then the next beautiful blog or article is there again. And if you have a story, your story in a book format, as you say, Shayna, it's tangible, it's there forever. It's absolutely there forever.
And you know what's odd is I didn't realize this till my first book came out. I was at a book signing event, and a lady saw my picture on the back cover, and she's like, oh my God, that's you. And I didn't realize I had been saving lives for over 30 years. And that it was the fact that I'm in a book that wowed people, which to me blows my mind. Like, I was saving lives for a living. And once I became an author, it was like, oh my God, wow. Isn't that crazy?
That's beautiful.
But it does elevate people. It does. Author is like the word authority, and people do look at you as more of an authority once you're an author, a published author in a book. But I had no idea the power of that.
It's an amazing, powerful thing. It opens so many doors. Especially, if you like speaking, you definitely can command higher level podcasts. People love to announce podcast hosts, to announce, I've got international best-selling authors.
Yes, that it does. It's a title that can elevate your business to whole new levels, right? Don't you like when you're on a podcast and they introduce you as #1 or international or best-selling? I mean, it shows authority and credibility. And I know that when our books are international bestsellers, it's helped me get more clients in other states, countries, and continents that would not have known of me and my message and how I can help change lives, save lives. And, I thank God for the book, because now I am truly the world wellness expert.
Absolutely. Look at that. No, it's a wonderful tool. And you know what? What's just also important to know is for the authors, and I always tell them, you've got to make sure that your business is prepared to receive the book. You've got to make sure that you've got a lead magnet, that you've got your offer, that you've got something to sell at the back of the book, and that you sell it, and that you leverage the book.
Yes.
It's to use the tool that you have in your hand to actually open the doors for you, because it will and it can, but we got to use it.
That's an important message to know. It's almost like when you're you're at home and you have the hammer and you're not fixing anything. It's not doing you any good. It's very wise. That is a tool that it can lead to book signings. It can lead to speaking engagements. It can lead to other things, podcasts, if you use it correctly, and I think that's what sets us apart from some of the other publishers is we show our authors, we lead by examples so they can see what we're doing things. We're getting on podcasts, we're doing book signings, we're doing book events. And with Overcoming Life Obstacles, I actually had some live in-person book signings where multiple authors got together. And I thought that we celebrated our success and we did book signings. And I thought that it was pretty cool because it was out on the water, a couple of the spots that the boats were pulling up. And what was interesting is there were some people pulling up. I remember this bunch of people pulled up in a boat and they weren't there for us. They were there for the restaurant. And they're like, oh my God, you guys are authors. Oh my God, I can get a book. Oh my God, you guys are on this book. So, I mean, it was just a fun celebration. It's important to also celebrate that success and live in the moment. Sometimes I'm off to the next win. Now, can you talk to us a little bit more about the new book, Success is Source? I think that's a very interesting book.
Now, Success with Source.
With Source.
Yeah. And what inspired me to create this book, Shayna, is that there are absolutely thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of amazing coaches and light workers. And people are doing an amazing job. Okay? They are so talented, but they struggle to keep the lights on in their business.
Oh, that's true.
You see? And so with this book, what I want the people in this book who are spiritual business practitioners, who are actually using source energy, their vibration, their intuition. And the intention for this book is to be a way shower to all those beautiful people how to create their business in a better way, how to do it more energetically, how to sell more energetically, how to tune in more, so that they can get away from this notion of listening to everybody else out there, but not going inside, and to learn to go inside. Because the other thing as well is there's really an onslaught in humanity at the moment. With AI, everybody thinks this is such a cool thing. It takes away, it disconnects us even more and more from ourselves and from God and from Source. I mean, to write your book or to write anything, quickly go on AI. It's like a quick text. But what happened? It's not your words. It's not your opinion. It doesn't come from you. It is the collective. It's sort of the epitome of conforming. There's no original idea. And where do we get the original ideas from? When we go inside. It's within. We all have an inner genius. And this book, for me, is a gift to the world because it's going to show people how do we go with it? What are the processes that these people follow that are in the book? What do they do?
I didn't
that people can learn from it.
I didn't realize it just now when you said to go into the source, because with my first book, a lot of the authors, I didn't realize this till after the book came out and I was asking for feedback. They thought the process was very cathartic or therapeutic to talk about it, to get it off their chest, so that others now know, because a lot of times when we look at people, we don't know the struggles they've gone through and what they're going through. So for them to unload and get it off their chest, and now people can view them for, wow, that's what she was going through. That's what she's been through. And I found actually my mission of my first book was a little different. Instead of within, I thought we all had important messages that others can learn from to inspire, motivate, and uplift. So say like I had one author who was a 3-time divorcee. So sometimes somebody going through divorce could look at that chapter and be like, whoa, she's the expert. What did she do? Maybe
Yeah,
that'll help
absolutely.
me.
Absolutely. My other book, My Message, is exactly the same as what you're talking about, the obstacle. It's about, it's like a hero's journey is about every coach's story. You go
Yes.
through something, we get through it, and in that process, dark night of the soul and everything, we find our purpose through that adversity, through that
Yes.
inner growth. And
Yes.
yes, we do show the way to others that there is a blessing, whatever they're going through. These people have gone through it, have done it.
Yes.
So you can do that too.
And
And of course, if they then help people with it, that is of course what our books do, is for
yes.
these amazing authors in our books to be able to help people who need it.
And I think it's good that the authors now, they had like a major problem, like with your book, Message, Mine, Overcoming Life Obstacles, they had like a major issue. And now they're realizing that through sharing their message that other people are inspired and motivated and empowered to be like, wow, she went through that, what did she do? Maybe it could help me. Because I know I had some crazy struggles in my book. We had, from stage 4 cancer into full remission. We had somebody that overcame ADHD and dyslexia to become not only a doctor but a surgeon. We had one of my co-authors fell a few stories in a work accident, had all this major reconstruction. The co-worker died. So I think there's so many different wide struggles in your book and my book that people can pick it up no matter what their struggle is. There's some story in there that they can relate to. We had someone that lost a child, someone that lost a parent, someone that lost a spouse, that somebody, maybe they can't relate, the reader can't relate to every chapter, but they can take gold nuggets out of it. And maybe even if they didn't lose their daughter, they might use those same tools in that chapter to overcome the loss of, another treasured loved one. So I think there's great tools within our books that people can use.
Absolutely. Every author is sharing, how they got over it, their expertise, and show as well that that life serves us, that even though things
Yes,
very bad, in the end it works out. In the end we get through it, and there's a
yes,
blessing behind it. That for me is so important for people to realize. And as you say, in my message, we had this was so awesome. She was the first Black Hawk helicopter pilot.
oh, that's awesome.
First female Black Hawk helicopter pilot. She was in the book. We had addiction. We had, as you say,
Yes.
addiction, abuse, health issues, money issues, relationship issues.
So I guess, yeah.
Beautiful the story.
I think it was, our books were therapeutic for not only the writer, but the readers as well. And I wanted it more as like a self-help guide, that anytime you could just pick up, read one chapter, put it down, pick up, now chapter 7, you're not going to lose your spot because it's a different story. So I think with a lot of short stories, it's very easy for the reader to just pick up for a little bit of time, put down, not worry about where are they again, and I think it can help our readers so much. And now, I think also you do your books in a line with your coaching, correct?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
On my regarding my coaching is, I'm a transformation coach and a spiritual business coach. So I help my clients to tune in to their greatness and overcome their obstacles, the inner obstacles. So it's really about then tuning into self-love, connecting to source, know how to work with the triggers. We all have our triggers that trigger us into emotions. How do we change the relationship with the trigger so that it doesn't affect you anymore? And it's self-care and self-love. It's all the same thing. And that leads to abundance. That leads to a higher vibration. And it's about the authors to make a profit from their books, but also, as an international best-selling author, it's a layer to your identity. It's a bigger container that you are creating. And it's for them to step up into that container and to hold it and to expand it even further.
I like, that was beautiful. I like how you said triggers, because just today I was putting the final touches on my next course about autoimmune disorders, because this is autoimmune disorder awareness month. And in there, I was doing graphics about triggers. And it's important for everyone to know either emotionally or physically what their triggers are. A lot of autoimmune disorders, they have certain triggers where if they stay away from them, they feel better, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But also, you cannot change the trigger. You can change your relationship to the trigger.
Yes.
And that means we change our meanings that we have about something. We are meaning makers. So we make meanings about everything. Everything that we process, that we see through our senses, and we see it in our mind, that's the first step. We map it. We call it mapping. Visual, auditory, kinesthetic. But then the next step for us is we language. Now we tell ourselves about it. Do we like it? And of course, what your brain does, it connects that same, if it's new, to anything that's sort of familiar or similar. So we form these connections, and that's why if you eat ice cream, your brain takes you back to your grandma's kitchen where you maybe asking for the first time, because everything is connected in that way.
Yes.
And you've got to change the relationships. You've got to change the meaning. For example, it's a simple thing. Somebody calls you stupid. People have a good thing about stupid. Don't call me stupid. How dare you call me stupid? So what does that mean?
To me, can I tell you what that...
Now, let me just do the example. So that it's the meaning we give to the word stupid, or somebody calling you stupid, that obviously connects to something maybe in childhood where somebody called you stupid and told you to shut up. But
yes, a trigger.
That meaning. You've got to change the meaning. What does stupid mean?
Well, that depends, because you see, I think different than the average person. If somebody called me stupid, I don't think that would bother me. I haven't been called that in a really long time, and I'll tell you why. I think if somebody calls me stupid, obviously they are stupid for not knowing me enough that I'm not stupid. So I would not take insult to someone calling me stupid. I would just think they're dumb for not knowing me. But I think also we have to retrain the brain, because a lot of these triggers are from childhood. And when you were saying mapping, because yes, it'll map back to that situation. Oh, my father used to call me stupid. And, and so I think a lot of times we need to retrain the brain. It's not impossible. It is difficult because you've had this habit now for, say, 40 years, but it is possible, to retrain your brain.
Of course, neuroplasticity. Of course, every moment that you learn a new idea, that you have a different meaning about something, your brain forms a new neural pathway. It's just a question of the old habitual thinking are like highways in your brain.
Yes.
And if you start having new thoughts about something, then you're going to nurture that. If you make a shift, the change happens immediately. But you got to nurture that change. You got to act on it. So
give it some
believe in it. Because the moment it happens, it's like nothing. And the more you nurture it, the stronger it gets, the stronger it gets.
Yes, it's almost like positive feedback and negative.
But it's discipline. You see, most people are too lazy to think and to have discipline. It's like say you decide you're going to become now vegan. Then for every piece of food, every meal prep, every grocery list, everything, you got to look at that and say, is this vegan? Is this or isn't it? In the same way, you've got to train your brain to think different. Because as we think,
Retrain
so
the
we
brain.
feel. As we think, so we feel, and we act always.
Yes. I think sometimes we do need to retrain the brain. We need to reprogram all of those years of negative brainwashing. You're stupid, you're dumb, you're this, you're that. But I think also it's our viewpoint. Like, it could rain today and I could be like, great, maybe I'll see a rainbow, or it's going to bring the flowers tomorrow. And someone else could be like, man, it's raining today. And
Exactly.
it's that half full, half empty glass. And I'm
Yeah.
always seeing, we choose
We
what
choose.
we choose to see that as a good or a bad thing. I
Yeah.
always look at the positive in everything, and I choose to do so. But by the same token, somebody that's miserable all the time, they are choosing to see that negative side of it all the time.
And you know, it's like wearing lenses.
Yes.
If you have an
Blinders.
habitual thinking pattern of seeing the worst things, you know, that's also your vibration. So your subconscious mind is going to give you plenty of little things that's going to trigger that thing that you're going to confirm for yourself. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this life is horrendous. Oh, and you'll go on and on. And so the other way as well. You decide, I'm thinking positive stuff, and you are continuously focusing on the good, choosing to see the good, you will see more good in your life.
Yes. Yes. So maybe we need to put blinders on to more negative, toxic things.
Absolutely.
But we also choose was a chapter in my book by one of the authors. We have to choose. It's important to choose. We can choose to surround ourselves with people that make us feel bad about ourselves, or we could choose to not surround ourselves with them. And everything in life is a choice, you know? So I think people need to realize that. But your point of, things do take work, you know, what we want. Like, you know, how do you feel when someone says to you, oh, you're lucky you're a best-selling author? It was more than luck, right?
But there's also, you know, I love that that saying by, who said this? I think Gary Player, South African golfer who was world champion in the US many times. He always said that the more I practice, the luckier I get.
Oh, that's genius. I like that. Yes. Yeah. And people need to realize we choose, you know, easy things are easy, but the payouts are smaller, right? Harder things might have a bigger payout, but they're harder to do. And we have to choose to take the easy road, the hard road.
So, but we can also take baby steps.
Yes, yes.
Like little baby steps to condition ourselves to see the world in a different.
That's a good point. And I would say our multi-author books are great baby steps. If someone wants to be their own author and do their own book in the future, I think it's important to take a smaller step first and maybe do a multi-author book so they can see how the writing goes, the formatting, the editing. And then, you know, I think that's a baby step. And I think, what else I want to say? Maybe we should just end it with, can you tell us about your upcoming events, books, how they can reach out to you? And then maybe I'll do the same. Yeah.
If any of these titles resonate with you, Success with Source, if you are a spiritual business practitioner, in other words, you use your tuition, you tune into Source, you are used to surrender and trust, and things happen for you in your business. And we would like to become a best-selling author and contribute a chapter to it, please just reach out to me on Facebook Messenger. And the other book, My Message, Volume 2. The first one we published a year ago. So it was such a great experience. I think that's the other thing, Shayna. It is such an experience. It's such a thrill to be in a book. Now, if that resonates with you, then also just because I think there are so beautiful publishers out there, you and me and so many other people. It is the title of the book that resonates with you most.
And I think what they can do is get our books on Amazon and then check it out and be like, wow, can you picture yourself? So you can get your message by Dina Marai on Amazon, KDP. And it's important for the readers to know, the viewers, that our books even the ebooks, you don't need a Kindle, a Nook, an iPad, any
you
special
don't.
device. You can use it, read it from your laptop, your phone. So you can get your message by Dina.
My mace is my message.
Yes, by Dina Marai on Amazon. Check it out and see if you can picture yourself in the next edition. And same with my book, Overcoming Life Obstacles. It was real people, real stories. It was inspirational, motivational. I wanted to show the reader that they can overcome their similar struggles and have the writers feel like accomplished, like, look, now I'm inspiring and motivating other people. So I like to say, turn your obstacle into a stepping stone to elevate yourself and uplift others. And my next book is a similar theme. It's about a real obstacle you had in life and how you overcame it. I didn't want it to be like a blues song where it's all sad. I wanted it to be more how the writer overcame it, so that the reader can be like, wow, she lost her mom too. What can I do that's going to help me overcome that? So my next book, Overcoming Life Obstacles by Shayna, Melissa, and contributing authors, is on Amazon KDP as well. The next book is a similar theme, but Tragedies to Triumphs. Shared secrets to success. So we're taking our pain that we had. We're showing like, wow, I went through this. It's not my books are not a blues song. They are more to inspire and motivate and uplift the reader to see that if they're having a similar problem, what the writer did to overcome it. So Tragedies to Triumphs is going to be in my next book. So I'd say if My Mess is My Message resonates with you by Dina Marai, or her next book, Success with Source, right? To reach out to you. If Overcoming Life Obstacles, you'd like to get that, you can get that on Amazon. If Tragedies to Triumph, Secrets to Success resonates with you, reach out to me. Any final words for the viewers? I think we covered a lot.
Just to follow your heart. If you want to be and become an author, this is the #1 strategy to do that, to contribute to a multi-author, because you get a hell of a return. You get a hell of a return in so tangible and non-tangible. And get your voice out there, get your message out there. Don't wait for permission from anyone.
And I think multi-author books is the way to go, because you don't have to spend years of your life writing an entire book. You write one short story, it's grammar edited, spell checked for you. And then also with multi-author books, so many people all the other authors are helping to drive it to bestseller as well. So it's a lot easier to make it a bestseller than a solo book. So it's less time to write the book, less energy, less money also when you're in a multi-author book than your solo book for the most part. And it's easier to try to make it a bestseller. And then you have all the other authors in the book promoting you as well.
The sisterhood is amazing. Lifelong friendships. It's really beautiful. It is a beautiful experience.
Awesome. So I would say just go to Amazon, get Dina Marai's book, My Mess is My Message, or get my book by Shayna, Melissa, and amazing co-authors, Overcoming Life Obstacles. Reach out to her if you want to be in My Mess is My Message 2 or Success with Source, and reach out to me if you want to be in Tragedies to Triumphs.